I was just jogging. Not running from anything. Not breaking any law. Just jogging. But to them, that didn't matter. One glance. One radio call. Suddenly, I was face down on the pavement, confused, breathless, and surrounded. Have you ever been mistaken for someone you're not, just because of how you look? Would you stay calm if your life depended on it, but your voice didn't seem to matter? Subscribe to Secrets of the Case. Because what you're about to hear is real, raw, and disturbingly common. But this story is mine. My name is Jordan Mitchell. I'm 27. Born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. I have a degree in computer engineering, a job at a startup, and a habit of jogging every morning to clear my head. Saturday, May 13th, started like any other. I laced up. Threw on a hoodie. Headphones in. 6:45 a.m. Cool breeze. Streets quiet. I jogged the same route I'd taken for months, Maple Avenue, past the pharmacy, down toward 8th Street. I never made it back home. I remember the moment exactly. 7:06 a.m. I noticed a white SUV creeping slowly behind me. Didn't think much at first. Until it sped up, cut me off at the next intersection, and 2 doors flung open. 2 officers stepped out. Guns not drawn, but hands near holsters. Stop right there. Confused, I pulled out my earbuds. What's going on? Hands where we can see them. Now. My legs froze. I raised my hands. I live here. I'm just jogging. They moved in. One grabbed my wrist. The other started asking. Where were you 10 minutes ago? Why are you in this neighborhood? My voice shook. Sir, I live 2 blocks from here. Apartment 6B. Before I could reach into my waistband for my ID, the taller officer yanked my arm behind me. Don't move. Don't resist. I'm not resisting. My wallet is in. I was slammed against the side of the SUV. My cheek hit the cold window. Hands cuffed. They patted me down. No weapons. No drugs. No stolen anything. Just keys. ID, a cracked iPhone. And a broken sense of peace. Apparently, there had been a robbery 2 streets over. The suspect was described as a black male in dark clothing, running. That was it. No height. No tattoos. No age range. No direction. Just black. Jogging. And that was enough. A woman started filming from her porch. She yelled. He jogs here every day. He didn't do anything. One of the officers told her to go inside. She didn't. She kept recording. A few minutes later, after running my ID and hearing dispatch confirm I had no record, they uncuffed me. No apology. Just a stiff. You can go. I didn't jog home. I walked. Heart pounding. Hoodie drenched in sweat, but not from the run. Head low. I passed 2 more police cruisers. They looked at me like I was a problem they hadn't solved yet. I'd never felt so criminal. So invisible. And so seen, for all the wrong reasons. I wasn't angry yet. That came later. But in that moment, I felt violated. Dismissed. Small. And I wondered. If no one had filmed, would I have made it home at all? But what I didn't tell you is what happened after I got home. Because something about that stop wouldn't let go of me. And when I started asking questions, I found out I wasn't alone. The next day, I tried to return to normal work, coffee, calls. But I kept hearing that officer's voice in my head. Stop right there. I replayed it. Over and over. Until I couldn't sleep. I looked up news articles. Jogger detained. Mistaken identity. The same story, again and again. Different cities. Same script. Then I found one just 5 miles from me. A 16-year-old kid named Bryce Taylor stopped at gunpoint last summer. Black. Jogging. No charges. No apology. That's when I knew. It wasn't just me. I found Bryce through a Facebook group, We Jog with Justice. I messaged him. Hey, I think we have something in common. You were stopped last summer? I was just cuffed last week. Want to talk? He replied in 10 minutes. We met at a local coffee shop. He was young. Quiet. But when I told him my story, his eyes sharpened. Same area, he asked. Same 2 officers? I nodded. That's crazy. They said I fit the description, too. Never even said what the crime was. 2 stops. Same profile. Same cops. I posted in the group. Has anyone in Charlotte been stopped while jogging or walking and told it was a description match? DM me. Within 48 hours, I had 6 messages. A school teacher. A local athlete. A college student. Even a middle-aged man who had stopped jogging completely. Each story echoed mine. All black or brown men. All within a 5-mile radius. All fitting a vague description. I pulled a city map and dropped pins. The pattern was undeniable. Each stop occurred along jogging trails or sidewalks in predominantly white neighborhoods adjacent to minority areas. The officers involved? Same squad. Patrolling the same beat. I wasn't imagining this. This was a pattern. A policy. Maybe even a tactic. I reached out to a civil rights lawyer, Ms. Rachel Bynum. She listened to me, Bryce, and the others. And if it's recurring, we can pursue a pattern or practice claim. Then she said. They're using proximity and skin color as probable cause. That's profiling. But we needed evidence. Not just stories. Reports. Logs. Body cam footage. So I filed a Freedom of Information request. And waited. 2 weeks later, I received a slim packet from the city. Only 2 stops were logged officially, mine and one other. The rest? No record. No paperwork. That meant either officers didn't report them. Or someone deleted them. But why? Then Rachel asked something I hadn't considered. What if it's not just negligence? What if it's policy? That's when everything changed. Officers are told to engage more with young men who look out of place. No written orders. But it's real. An anonymous email hit my inbox. I work for CMPD. I saw your video. You're not crazy. There's an unofficial aggressive visibility mandate for certain blocks. Attached was a redacted internal training slide. The title? Proactive Visibility Zones. My heart dropped. They didn't stop me because I looked like someone. They stopped me because they're trained to stop people who look like me. I was stopped on the street while jogging. Accused. Cuffed. Shamed. But I wasn't the only one. There were others. Too many. And when a whistleblower exposed an unofficial policing policy targeting people who looked out of place, I knew I had a choice. Stay quiet. Or speak so loudly they couldn't ignore us anymore. The anonymous email kept playing in my head. Aggressive visibility. No records. No names. I spoke with Rachel, the civil rights lawyer. If you go public, she said, they'll come after you. Not just legally. Personally. They'll paint you as angry, unreliable. You sure you're ready? I took a breath. I wasn't ready when they threw me against that SUV either. We drafted a statement. Not just about me, but all of us. I worked with a local journalist, Deshaun Ricks, who had covered racial injustice cases before. He didn't sensationalize my story. He listened. He asked for facts. He got them. Emails. Messages. Whistleblower documents. Testimonies from the other joggers. 2 weeks later, the headline dropped. Targeted while jogging, uncovering Charlotte's unofficial policing bias. By Deshaun Ricks. With first-hand testimony from Jordan Mitchell. The city lit up. By noon, the article had over 30,000 shares. By nightfall, I was trending. Some comments were support. This happened to my brother too. I walk my dog on that street and see it all the time. Time for accountability. Others were not. Play victim much? Stop jogging in the wrong neighborhood. You're exaggerating. But the truth was out. And it couldn't be unsaid. CMPD issued a statement. We are reviewing our community engagement practices. We take these concerns seriously. Translation? Damage control. But then the real shock came. The police chief, Chief Bramley, stepped down to pursue retirement. 3 officers were placed on administrative leave. And a civil oversight hearing was scheduled. I agreed to one interview. 1. Not because I wanted fame. But because I wanted them to see my humanity. I sat down with Deshaun, face blurred for safety. What would you say, he asked, to the officers who stopped you that morning? I looked into the camera. I'd say I was just jogging. And if that's enough to make me suspicious, then it was never about safety. It was about control. 2 months later, I jogged the same street. No hoodie. No music. Just my breath and the morning sun. I saw an officer at the corner. He nodded at me. I nodded back. Was it better? Safer? I didn't know. But I wasn't afraid. Because now, they knew I had a voice. And I wasn't alone anymore. They thought they could silence me with fear. But I used their silence to find others like me. And together, we turned one traffic stop into a movement. Have you ever wanted to speak out but didn't think anyone would listen? Would you take the risk even if your voice shook? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe to Secrets of the Case for more stories like this one. Because the streets don't always speak for themselves. Sometimes, we have to be their voice.